to all and welcome to another episode. Today's episode is not going to be on the technical side but more about the seafarers. We have with us Advocate Rahul Varma, ex-Master Mariner. Thank you so much for your time once again, sir. And today our viewers would like to know about the life of seafarers on board a vessel. And you see, in the past few years, we have seen many instances of suicide rates going high and how the both the Bollywood and the Hollywood movies depict the life of a seafarers. So I would request you to give some reality checks on the same and how is it to be a seafarer on board?
What movie or when you think of a seafarer, what is the first picture which comes to your mind?
Or well, how they say it's always a person in a uniform, can be orange or white, and doing his
Some
or her
work.
job. Yeah, we have the technical aspects in the engine room or in the control room. So yeah.
In 1992 or 93, when I was planning to get into Merchant Navy, which was not the first choice for me that time, I still remember seeing a picture of a captain with a parrot on his one hand, a cigar in his mouth, a wine glass in another, some dollars oozing out of his pocket, a very thick gold necklace chain, four stripes, of course, out here with a white dress, and some more fancy things around him.
Okay.
So that was a picture which I saw of myself, maybe in next years to come. So that is how at least I got into the merchant navy.
Okay.
I'm sure there are many other people who have their many other reasons to be there, but that was the reason why I went it, because I thought maybe someday I'll have it. But God willingly, at least the smoke I stopped, the drink I stopped while in the Navy quite early.
And the gold chain is concealed.
It is concealed. And the rest all is concealed. But the better part of the story is that having that image of a person at sea gave me that hope that I'll have a good life. Maybe it was a dream, maybe it was a uh, false thought, but it gave me that hope that whenever my tough times were there on the ship, that someday I will be enjoying like that person in that picture. So life at sea is tough, no doubt about it. Why tough? Most importantly, you are away from your people, you are away from the normal way of living at land, and you are with a group of people who are in the similar state and you really don't know them. So every few weeks or few months, you are with some stranger or another working next to you, and you need to develop a relationship with that person, which cannot always be easy. The food that you get is something which you cannot decide. You get a menu which is set by the ship staff, the master, and all, and the way you live is dictated by the work schedule which you get. Yes, you earn a good money even now in merchant navy, but most of the time you are not enjoying it. Maybe your family is,
Right.
but you are the person who is helping many people to enjoy the many other benefits of life. So as a seafarer, you believe that the tough times when they come, you need to remember that you have opted for it. It's by choice that you are here. It is not somebody has forced you to be here. And once you start thinking like that, I believe that's a part and parcel of learning of life also. Once you start believing that your choice is what you have made and you have to really not repent it and enjoy it, you have a good life anywhere and anywhere. The best part of the seafaring job is that you're so concentrated on your job. Of course, nowadays there are many other means and ways to keep in touch with family members. But let's forget last 2, 3, 4 years. since when the WhatsApp and satellite link and all that has become
Right.
much better. But before that, the fact that you were all by yourself, making your own life and working with people to make sure that such a huge body of steel goes from one place to another and does earn enough money for many more to make their lives is something that gives you a lot of encouragement to take on the problems that come in your life at sea. And yes, sometimes you feel bad, lonely. Sometimes you feel as if what have you done? But then mostly the people around you in the ship also help you. So for the moment, the life which I lived was something like this, but it is drastically changed. Drastically changed not only because of technology, but because of the quick round about of the ships which is happening in port.
Right.
And nowadays, people do not get that much time that they can enjoy life on board. With technology coming, one more aspect which has come into play is that just as you see in shore where people in a party also are hanging around with their WhatsApp phone and their phone and things like that rather than communicating with each other. The same thing is happening on ship also. People have started isolating themselves in their free time to be on a movie or talk to their family or things like that only, and not mix with the immediate family which is next to them. And that time they are not able to take out. And not only that, there are so many nationalities these days on a ship sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The last one I went on a ship, there were 5 different nationalities.
Okay.
So to imagine all of them syncing together, the cultures all coming together, the food habits coming together, and the way of talking, the way of working, their economic conditions, the political conditions, all, and they still be a family to enjoy is a tough call. So, as a seafarer, you have to find your own ways of enjoying life at sea.
So what is or what should be the mental appetite of a seafarer, or what are the potential, the psychological challenges that these all that you said, the contributing factors might eventually result into?
See, a seafarer before going to ship or before deciding that they will go to work on a ship should decide why has he decided that career. Yes, one might say that for every career it matters. You become a journalist, you become a CA. There are different challenges for different people. Today you become a journalist, 2 o'clock in the night, you have to go somewhere to get a report a matter. Or you are a journalist, you have to be in a crowd of 100 people and mob is going on and still have to be there. You might be hit by a bullet also. So every career has its challenges. But are you prepared for those challenges, or are you aware of the challenges first before getting prepared? That you may face such challenge and you are ready to face that challenge. That is the key thing which people should first consider before joining the sea. There are people coming from various areas today, and various hinterland people are also excited about this job.
Mhm.
More of mainland people are going away from this job. More of hinterland people are coming into this job. Now, what is happening is with the mainland people, they would see people at sea because they were usually in that areas like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Vizag, Cochin, Goa. These are the key places from the seafarers used to come before. But today you have people from Punjab, you have people from Sikkim, from Darjeeling, from Raipur, from Jaipur. So mostly they have still not seen many people or many such activities of merchant navy especially, and maybe they are still not that aware that how a life of a person would be in when they go there, and that is something which is a real botheration. So the induction level before you go to think of joining, it should be very very strong, very most probably harsh also I would say,
Okay.
because today people tell join merchant navy and you will earn lakhs in few years. Before 30, you will have house, you will have a car, you will have a this, you will have a that. Because the earnings are so much. But the flip side of the story, very few people talk about. Are you mentally strong to be there? Are you ready to leave your family to be there? Would you still be happy to be there? So these are the questions that people start answering and then decide to come to merchant navy. I'm sure they will make a better self for themselves. And of course, with the new technological advances, you are often too close to your family, for my liking at least, as an old seafarer. So for me, being away from the family was also a boon. And that was how it was. So 1993, when I joined as a cadet, I was 18 months away from home.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to my parents first after 4 months going to ship.
Okay.
For 4 months, I never had a letter. I never had a call with my parents. And also, it was the first time I had gone on a flight, first time I had gone abroad, and first time I had gone to do some work as proper work. And if anybody ever tells me, they ask you a question, if you had a one more life and what would you do? How would you like to enjoy it? Okay, which period of the time would you like to enjoy it? If I was ever asked that, I would love to get those 18 months back, where I made a new world for myself, where all the education of my parents, my school, the society, what I learned, I had the pleasure to implement it there. All the virtues that I had learned and a few bad habits also. Okay. All that were implemented in all ways that I can do, and still manage to have a good time, make a good career, and enjoy best. Thanks not only to the society which brought me up, but thanks to the people on my first ship who helped me to live a life on ship nicely also. And even now, I'm in touch with 4 or 5 of them with whom I worked in 93. Okay. Even now, I'm in touch with them. And they are still my friends. They are all in different ways in different places, but they're still my friends. And I still love to connect with them because they were the people who gave me the new life. And that's where
Or the approach, I would say.
Well, when I went on the ship, I just did not know anybody. I did not know what work to do, how to do. I just had a passport. I didn't have any formal training. Nothing I had. And I was on a ship. I don't say that was the best thing to happen. Yeah. But it's just that my experience was good. There are a lot of people who didn't have a good experience. But it is just that I want to share a good story with you so that it will motivate you to understand that how you, if you are a seafarer and if some cadet or some junior person comes, how you should treat that person so that that person starts enjoying the work that person is supposed to do.
Why do we see a downfall in the number of, I would call the young seafarers or the potential ones not really going for sail or on sail, and why they are backing off from such an adventurous tide that you mentioned about? Is it just a matter of approach, or it's something that adds on to the issue?
Even today, when people come to me and ask me that if they should join sea as a career, I say that at least in my opinion, the career at sea is not bad. It's good career. However, at least for Indians who are educated and have had a formal good education in cities like Mumbai and all, especially where the standard of education is much more higher, seafaring cannot be the first choice.
Why so?
There are many other choices in life today to take where you can grow much more higher than just going at sea.
Okay.
However, we are all not lucky and we may not be able to sustain the pressures of other requirements, because in all other places also you still have enough competition also. If you are not able to sustain yourself or think that you are meant for some other field and you still want to get into seafaring, it is still not bad. But don't make it your first choice. When you make it a choice, remember what's other sacrifices you'll give also. And if you are happy to give those sacrifices and happy to live in that atmosphere of a ship and enjoy the work, the hard life that you will have, then you should go for it. And remember, even there, the struggle is there because the number of job opportunities is reducing out there. Lot of other countries which are below our economic levels have been promoting this job more because they know the benefits which they have of the earning in USD, in dollar income, in the foreign currency income.
So one can be replaced at any point of
Yes,
time.
we replaced the Europeans. Europeans were replaced by Indians and Filipinos, and slowly Filipinos and Indians are being replaced by other third world countries also. So, of course, that cycle will go on, but it will take enough time. It's not so easy to do it because we have had a very robust system of education and training in maritime, and we are still good because our basic education is much better than a lot of these third world countries also. And that adds to our advantage when we get into this. Having said that, it is changing, and people are going to some other nationalities for various reasons. Not only the fact that they are cheaper, it is easier for them to convince them to work on lower standards. It is easier for them to convince the other country people to work on lesser wages in poorer condition vessels. So these are all things which is adding up to make sure that the Indian seafarers numbers may reduce over a period of time because of, not because they are bad, because others are ready to work at a lesser level.
So in summary, it would be desperate times and desperate measures.
Even now it is so, and however, some trends are very confusing. Like recently, I was in one event where they said that it is very difficult to get junior officers these days for their ships because most of the junior officers are going on to companies and some other jobs and all where they are getting much more remuneration and not so many formalities which are required. And just because they're getting a better remuneration, they are leaving some present Indian company and going to some other foreign companies or offshore vessels or smaller vessels which are there in UAE waters and other places. So things are a bit confusing these days and people are trying to understand how to control it. But that's how it is.
And that's how it will be.
It will continue like this, but our government and our other educational bodies and other institutions which are in education and things like that, they are trying to find ways and means to make this whole career much more passionate, much more safe, much more brighter looking, and they are making sure that people still would love to come here. One of the big reasons which recently we found was that this suicidal rates have gone up in merchant navy of young people. They can be of various reasons. One, family, other lovers and all that. Thirdly, would be work pressure and attitude of some other officers towards it. Now, this has also caused a bit of a problem with the youngsters because they believe that their families and they believe that they may have a big problem not only on the way they work but on the psychological effect of how people treated them or how they would cope up when people are away from their families. So that is also one reason, but a lot of people, especially again in the mainland areas from where people used to come from sea, having heard so many stories, are avoiding to go there. And you and I both know that the opportunities are growing for people in these main cities. The hinterland is still, it is, like too much of crowding of opportunities in the mainland.
Also creates a bottleneck situation, in the latter end of the scenario.
So in the hinterland areas, still the things have not percolated.
Mhm.
Like Mumbai is growing side by side with the number of suburbs increasing.
Right.
But if you go a little bit away from Mumbai into Maharashtra areas and all, yes, they are all very good. They are growing nicely, but the amount of growth you have in such a small area, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and such places, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and all those. It's in the small area also. There's so much per inch increase in the opportunities. But just you go a little bit away from there, and then it drastically reduces. So good that these people are coming here, but I hope they are coming with the view of after knowing what life it could be.
Not just
Not just the glamour of the life, not just the fact that they will earn good money.
So like we say, the other side of the grass looks always greener.
Always greener.
So
that is what you should be aware, and if you come, it's a very good profession. So the perspective of enjoying the world with merchant navy should be out of your mind totally. You are going there to work, you are going there to earn money, and you are coming to come back.
it's all about whether you have what it takes.
And if you have that, go ahead and do it. It's a
Sky's
good
the limit for
profession.
you.
Yeah. And then after that also now India is growing with, you don't have to always be a seafarer now.
Yep.
There are so many opportunities to work ashore now in so many offices. I myself quit at the age of 32, and last 18 years I am ashore. I didn't work. I worked only 11, 12 years at sea, and then and now it's 18 years for me. I'm ashore. So there are plenty of opportunities. It's only you need to make sure you make your path in a correct
Have
way.
the knack to gauge.
Yes, when to do what.
Yeah.
And I suggest to everybody, consider merchant navy as a good option, but be prepared before you go there. In alongside on the shore, you can always have people around you to help you, but there it is a bit difficult to do that. And that's why you should be aware that you yourself are strong enough to take the challenge and not dependent on anybody to help you take that challenge.
So with all that, Sir rightly mentioned, if you want your pockets full of dollars and the gold chains concealed, go ahead if you have what it takes, else you may see the parrots flying off your shoulder anyway soon in near future. With that, I would bid you all goodbye. Stay tuned with us for further such videos and informative, I would rather say industry informative discussions and talks. Thank you very much for being such a patient audience. See you the next time.